Merry Christmas, everybody. Every year there are Christmas stockings hung by the chimney with care, but there's always one missing, I think, and that's you in the future. And today we're going to talk about what you should buy for yourself today for your future self. I promise you that guy or girl will be very happy.
Yeah, my name's Josh Nahosa, and I am an independent advisor representative for SWAN DFW. That stands for Sleep Well at Night Dallas-Fort Worth. And first and foremost, I would like to say that this is going to be much less complicated than the Back to the Future movies. We would hope.
We would hope.
And across from me, looking very dapper, according to one person in his Sunday school class.
Yeah, Lauren number 4, because we have like 14 Laurens, said I look dapper, and now I'm going to have to wear this jacket for every day for the rest of my life.
Yep, there was 14 Laurens. She was Lauren number 7, but after that compliment, moving up the power rankings, it sounds like. Hector is a certified financial planner, which is the top mark in our industry, and he has been doing this for a while. 1993. And he started Swan DFW
2014.
11 years ago as we record this, coming up on 12 years ago.
It'll be amazing.
It is. All right, so financial gifts for your future self. Things that you can do for your future self. This is not being selfish. This is looking out for yourself. I think that's an important distinction as people, when you're doing things for yourself, sometimes people are like, well, that's a selfish thing of you to do, but no one's going to look out for you later in your life better than you will. Yeah.
Let me tell you who wants you to be selfish for your future self. Your kids do. They don't want to be put in a position where they have to financially take care of you. They may have to emotionally and physically, but financially they don't want to be that. So do it for them. Do it for the kids.
Yeah. So we have 5.
Yeah.
A list of 5 of these things. We're going to fly through them. The first one, fully fund your emergency funds.
Yeah. Some of the future is going to be like 20 years in the future. Some of the future is going to be like 12 months in the future. But here's a secret that we don't tell many people in financial planning. Stuff is going to happen. Cars are going to break. Air conditioners are going to go out. Roofs are going to leak. Any number of things. You should have an emergency fund so that one of these situations becomes an annoyance and isn't a catastrophic event in your life. So fully fund an emergency fund. That should be somewhere between 3 to 6 months of whatever your monthly amount is that you need to live on. So if you need $3,000 a month, your emergency fund should be somewhere between $9,000 and $18,000 a year, and that should just be kept in a really safe account in your bank. You can get to it quickly, and that's just there for emergencies. Don't need to invest that. Don't need to even think about it. That's just when an emergency comes up, when that doctor bill comes in or that copayment needs to be paid, it's right there. It's not a catastrophic event. Annoying, but not catastrophic.
Yeah, and I think a good part of financial planning is not having a small thing turn into a catastrophic event financially.
Yeah, and that's very well said. That is very well said.
Yeah, somebody clip that and put it on the internet. Our next thing here, bumping your retirement contributions. Maybe it's 1%. Maybe it's just continuing to ramp up.
Yeah, if you start wherever you started, some of us can start at 10%, some of us can't. But wherever you started, if every Christmas, starting in New Year's, you will bump your percentage you're putting into your 401k, preferably a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA. Go look at our other podcasts to see why. One, you're not going to feel it, and then you'll be amazed how much money you start saving if you do that every year consistently. We talk about the power of compound interest, and the more money you can get in there earlier, that last doubler, if you're doubling your money every, say, 10 years, that last 10 years when it goes from 200 to 400 or 400 to 800 or 800 to 1.6, that's amazing, but you got to put the money in now to let that work for you. And by adding just 1% a year, it's a good time, and this is a good time to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Our next thing is automating savings. Why don't you explain what that means?
Yeah, most of us try to save money just like we try to save for retirement. As we get our paychecks, We're going to go live our lives. We're going to pay the rent or pay the mortgage and get the kids stuff and everything. And anything that's left over, we're going to save. The challenge with that is there's usually not anything left over. And so if you get into the habit of, just like your 401k, if you're putting in whatever you're putting in your 401k, if you get in the habit of putting in, out of your checking account, have your bank take something, $50 or $100, and put it in to maybe fund that emergency fund. And it just becomes automatic. Once that emergency fund is fully funded, how about we open a second account and maybe that becomes your travel fund, where vacations, you're not having to dip into your regular, you have that saved. But if you do it automatically every single month, it'll get done. Your spending will adjust, so it's really not going to feel like you're missing out on anything. And you're going to really be grateful in the future that your current self had the foresight to start doing these things.
We should say it's a lot easier to do it automatically than not. I think a lot of people, if you're a good American, you spend every dollar that you have.
That's the American way.
We say, and then sometimes more.
Oh, yeah. Because credit cards. How can I be out of money? I have a lot of money.
Yeah, it's free money.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do it automatically, you're setting yourself up for success down the road.
Exactly.
It's a good habit to get into.
Yeah.
Our fourth thing here is updating beneficiaries.
It's a kind of a big deal, especially for families that have gone through a traumatic event, maybe a divorce. Make sure that all of your beneficiaries are updated, because if you divorced her or him but didn't update your beneficiary and you happen to die, it's not going to bother you any. But your current spouse is going to be really upset that your former spouse is getting all the insurance money. And I had this happen several years ago, and it was a mess, but legally there was nothing to do. And so, make sure that you've changed your beneficiaries, and then make sure that, if you've put a child as a beneficiary, that's another thing. People get divorced, or people say, well, I don't ever want her or him to have the money, so I'm going to put my 8-year-old son as a beneficiary. That's really not going to work either, because if you happen to die, the judge isn't going to give a child, somebody under 18, a check for whatever the death benefit is. Who will control the money is the closest living blood relative. Guess who that is? The person you were trying to keep the money from. So, just make sure you've updated the beneficiaries, and you'll sleep well at night, I promise you.
Our last thing here is review your insurance policies.
Yeah, sometimes we'll buy something from somebody because he's our cousin, or he's starting in the business, and we're trying to help him out, and we'll buy something. One of the cool things about having a financial plan is it gives you a track you're going to run on. You know what it is you're going and how you're going to do it and those things. But it also gives you the right to say, no, I don't need that because I have a plan and I've covered everything. But sometimes we have bought things before we put the plan together. And let's go see what it is we're paying for and see if we still need that insurance. If you bought, as a weird example, I've never seen this happen, I'm making this up. Say that I bought motorcycle insurance 10 years ago. But I sold my motorcycle 8 years ago, but I'm still paying on my motorcycle insurance. Some would say, and I would agree, that that's a waste of money.
Yeah.
So hopefully that hadn't happened. But things like that, just make sure that what you're paying for is what you need. And if you're not sure what you have, talk to us, talk to your financial planner and say, hey, I don't know what this is. And then let's make some calls and find out what it is. And if we need it, we keep it. And if we don't, well, you've loosened up a little bit of money to help you fund your emergency fund or bump your 401k. So tightening that up is a good idea.
Yeah.
And I want to say one last thing before we move on. People say, it's easy to say, bump your retirement by 1% or start saving. Years ago, when I started this in 1993, it was a young lady, And she was a single mom, had only been divorced for like less than a year, had gotten a job, and she was going. And I said, you need to save. You need to save something. She said, I can't afford it. And right at that time in 93, 94, Congress was talking about raising taxes. And so I remember asking her, well, what happens if this administration raises taxes by, say, $50? And she said, boy, it'd be really hard. But, I'd have to just cut some things out. But, I'd have to pay the taxes. I wouldn't have a choice. I said, well, listen to what you just said. You can find $50 for, back then, the Clinton administration, but you can't find $50 for you and your kids. And that put a whole fresh perspective in things for her. And we started at $50 a month, which is where she needed to start. But starting is the hardest thing. And so, yeah, it's there. You just need to find it.
Yeah. So if you have questions about how to start or any other financial questions, we have a couple ways that you can contact us, because besides great looking Christmas podcasters, we
professional Christmas podcasters.
We are actually financial advisors.
Yes.
And the way that you can contact us is on the screen, but if you are just listening, it is 888-792-6339 or 888-SWAN-DFW. Or we have an email address, and that is info@swandfw.net. Again, both of those will be in the description wherever it is you are watching or listening.
Yeah. And again, thank you guys for being with us for the year. And if you like us, share this with somebody. But more important than anything, have a very Merry Christmas. And this is a great time to keep this in perspective. Remember the reason for the season. Jesus loves you, so do we. God bless.
The preceding content is informational only and based on information available when created. It is not an offer or solicitation, nor is it tax or legal advice. It does not consider your financial circumstances and objectives and may not be suitable for you.